Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And today we're going to be talking about fermented foods for psoriasis. And if you're dealing with psoriasis, you are not alone. I know a lot of people who have this, and I want you to know there are powerful natural ways to support your healing. One of the most profound changes you can make is to support your gut microbiome. And why is that? Because the gut-skin connection is very, very, very real. And when your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, it often shows up on your skin. So let me show you how fermented foods can help your body rebalance and bring some relief from the inside out. So fermented foods can help with psoriasis in many ways. They can help modulate the immune system. Psoriasis involves an overactive immune response. So your body's overreacting to something it shouldn't react to. Probiotics from fermented foods can help regulate this response by promoting immune tolerance and reducing inflammatory markers. Certain strains like Lactobacillus and Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus reuteri are known to reproduce pro-inflammatory cytokines like TNF-A and IL-6, both elevated in psoriasis. It also helps to restore the gut barrier function, which is huge when you have psoriasis. People with psoriasis often have leaky gut, so that's intestinal permeability, which allows inflammatory molecules and toxins to enter into the bloodstream, and that worsens your symptoms. So your gut is leaking into your bloodstream, which should be sealed off. Akkermansia is responsible for that. It's a bacteria in your gut that's responsible for keeping your gut lining intact. And if that's not working properly, then this stuff can leak into your bloodstream, which causes all kinds of inflammatory responses. So fermented foods rich in probiotics help seal the gut lining and strengthen that intestinal barrier. So, some people are selling Akkermansia in probiotic form. You can't really do it that way. You have to eat foods that Akkermansia likes, like apples, apple peel, blueberries, kefir. All those things help Akkermansia grow and multiply. And you want that so you have a sealed gut that doesn't leak into your bloodstream. You need to balance the microbiome. Individuals with psoriasis typically have a disrupted gut microbiome with very little diversity strains. So you don't have the abundance of diversity strains in your gut. So fermented foods increase that microbial diversity a lot. They populate the gut with beneficial bacteria, creating a healthy microbial environment that can calm systemic inflammation. And they do that in a really healthy, safe way. Taking probiotic supplements can be really problematic. Sometimes they could help, but sometimes you can take too many strains all at once, and then they open up in places they don't belong in the body, which can cause things like a SIBO and other problems because you're taking so much. Whereas if you take it in cultured foods, the body knows how to handle it. The body has the fermented foods have like a little protective halo around them as they speed to the parts of the body where they're needed. They know where to go, they know what to do, and the body knows how to handle it. Whereas supplements can be problematic, and you don't always know where they're going to wind up. So fermented foods don't have that problem. And we took supplements years before we took fermented foods, and they didn't really work. But once we started on fermented foods, because my daughter had all kinds of problems, leaky gut, food allergies. Once she started on fermented foods, all of that cleared up because the body, we saw huge benefits right away where we didn't see that with supplements. Now, another thing they do is produce anti-inflammatory compounds. This is huge. So fermented foods generate short-chain fatty acids, yes. And things like butyrate, that's a short-chain fatty acid. And that, like during digestion, has strong anti-inflammatory effects and promotes skin healing. That's one of the things that butyrate does really, really well. And short-chain fatty acids also influence gene expression related to inflammation and immunity. They're such huge things. I've written a whole article about this, how powerful each one of these are, and that each one of these short-chain fatty acids is in cultured foods. So diversity is important because you need these. These are really big markers for a healthy body, and you need them. And cultured foods help to make these acids in your gut and really promote healing. These foods also promote detoxification, especially things like kombucha. That supports your liver function, helps clear toxins that can flare up in psoriasis because your liver is probably clogged if you have psoriasis. It's probably struggling. And kombucha is really good for that. So is cultured vegetables. And kefir is good for that. All of those detoxification pathways that fermented foods help assist and work with are huge for helping to clear things out so that your skin doesn't flare up because your body's liver is able to handle the toxin, because we have so many toxins in our environment. And our body's meant to handle things, but not when it's just bombarded with so many stresses and pollutants. And these foods help the liver. They assist the liver in detoxification. So there are certain strains that are very beneficial. Lactobacillus kefiri, which is in kefir, it is known to suppress inflammation. It helps rebuild the gut lining, and you can find that in kefir and in cultured vegetables. Both of them have that. L. reuteri is a really powerful strain, and we have an L. reuteri yogurt. There's tiny amounts in kefir, L. reuteri, but if you really want help to boost T regulation cells and to reduce autoimmune flare-ups, L. reuteri starter yogurt is the way to go. It's very powerful, especially if you have SLBO. And that can also cause skin conditions and problems. And we have a starter for that. That works really well. And it's in, so the starter, and it's also a little tiny bit in kefir. Saccharomyces boulardii is a huge probiotic yeast, one of the most researched ones on the market, and it supports healing the gut. It expels harmful pathogens, and it's in kombucha, and it's also in kefir soda. And it's a very powerful probiotic yeast. It can't be killed by antibiotics because it's a yeast and not a bacterium. But guys, you're full of yeast. You have more yeast in your body than bacteria. And all we hear about is candida, but there's a lot of good ones that can promote healing in you. And S. boulardii is one of those that can really help remove the pathogens from your body easily and quickly. You also want to try to do an anti-inflammatory diet. If you've already got psoriasis, you really need to make those changes. And here are a few things that will really help your body a lot. Omega-3s, get them in food. In flax, chia seeds, walnuts, or wild salmon. There's a lot of omega-3s in that. We eat salmon a lot, but we eat wild-caught salmon because we know it's not farm bred and it's healthier for us. Number one thing, remove processed sugars. They feed inflammatory microbes like crazy, and they really harm you. Processed foods and processed sugars are so bad for your skin. They make you age faster because they create these bonds in your skin that cause aging, and they oxidize things. So you really need to remove those. Another thing that's really helpful too is to remove things like perfumes, and those have so many hormone endocrine disruptors. They're very hard on your body. And so it's better to find some natural versions that you can like. But I'm seeing this more and more. They create not only toxins in the body, but they create like hormones in the body that create extra estrogen that causes all kinds of things to happen in the body. A lot of young girls are reaching puberty way too fast because they're getting so many estrogens in some of these perfumes and soaps and body baths that they use. So it's really important to watch that too, because it's what you put on your skin. Another thing is to include polyphenol-rich foods. Berries, all kinds of berries are rich in polyphenols. Green tea is rich in polyphenols, and olive oil, really good olive oil. The kind that you can see the color of the green olives in it. Those all have polyphenols. Are so good for you. We have a product called Simple Reds that's got like 4 berries in it that I put in my smoothies. My husband really loves that. And he has it every morning. It's just a scoop and you put it in there. That also feeds acromantia to keep your gut lining sealed. So that's a good product, Simple Reds. You can find that in my store. And it's just a red phenol powder that's so good for you. If you don't want that, red phenol powders are pretty much, you can find them at a lot of health food stores and places if you're looking for something right away. Those work really well. And they help your heart. They help everything because polyphenols are huge in heart health and aging and helping you to stay young. Another thing to add is zinc-rich foods, things like pumpkin seeds, mushrooms, spinach. All of those things really help support your skin and will really make a big difference for you having them in your diet. Now, the strains we have, kefir's a great one. Kefir is one of the most powerful cultured foods we have because it has 50 plus strains in it, because it suppresses inflammation. It helps to boost healing and immune system. L-plantarum is in cultured vegetables and in kefir. That's another one. That's a great one to add to your diet. And I've got lots of recipes for cultured vegetables that really take very little time to make and will last months and months in your fridge. L-reuteri yogurt's another good one if you're struggling with like SIBO and you just want extra help. We teach you how to make that. It helps to boost T regulation cells. And then the Saccharomyces boulardii is in kombucha and kefir soda, which is really powerful for supporting your liver. Bifidobacterium is also huge. It helps run your immune system, and that's in yogurt plus and kefir soda. Healing from psoriasis is such a journey, and fermented foods are one of the most powerful tools to support you on your way. And I've seen firsthand over and over again how much these foods can not only transform your gut, but your health, your skin, your energy, and your joy too, your emotions too. You're not just feeding your body, you're nourishing a whole world of microbes that are here to help you thrive. So here is like a gentle start to get you going. So kefir. So that's rich in lactobacillus, contains L-kefir, and you can start with 1 to 2 tablespoons daily. I drink about a cup a day now, but you can adjust to that. I recommend easy kefir if you're just getting started because it's so easy to make and you don't have to babysit kefir grains. You can make smoothies and bowls, and I got hundreds of recipes on my website. That was where I would start with 1 or 2 tablespoons in the beginning, and then increase it as you keep doing it, and then get up to a cup a day. That's what I would recommend. Fermented vegetables with L-plantarum. I would start with the brine first, then the crunch. So include things like sauerkraut, kimchi, cultured carrots, beets. I talked to them on my last podcast about jicama, which has got orange zest in it. That's delicious. Or pickles. And then, probiotics and prebiotics are in both of those. So they feed your microbes. And if you're sensitive, just begin with 1 to 2 tablespoons of just the brine. Just drink the brine. And then you can have the vegetables. That's a great place to start. Plus, it's easier and tastes better sometimes. Another thing you can add is yogurt with L-reuteri. That includes, encourages immune tolerance and reduces systemic inflammation. It's very good at that. I've seen so many people benefit from this yogurt. And you can find that in my store. I'm going to link the article, and this will have all of the links to everything I'm talking about. And then there's kombucha for liver support and microbial diversity. It gently helps detox the liver, which is a key organ in skin health. And if you're sensitive to yeast or histamine, start very slowly. Just take a little bit, couple sips, and see how you do. And then, fermented foods offer a very gentle and scientifically backed approach for improving psoriasis symptoms. And by targeting the root problems, the gut dysbiosis, the inflammation, immune imbalance, and poor detoxification, all of those things need to be addressed. Then you can help reduce flare-ups, heal the gut, and especially the gut-skin connection, and promote long-term skin health. If you're having histamine responses from food, I suggest starting just with L-reuteri to restore balance and conquer SIBO, because that's often at the heart of it. And then you can add the other fermented foods as you start to heal. Histamine responses means your gut microbiome needs healing. So we have lots of ways to help you. And it sounds overwhelming, but it's not, because I don't do anything hard. It's super easy. I think you'll find it enjoyable, and I think you'll just become a fermenting pro, and I think it will just become your normal life, because these foods are so easy to make, and you can make them at once and have them in the fridge, and they'll last, for quite a while. And then you can slowly start healing. And as you watch your body change, you'll want to consume these foods more and more. I see that over and over. And as a matter of fact, that happened to me when I had all kinds of health ailments. And when I started to heal, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to keep doing this. And then when I try to take them out, some of the stuff would come back and I was like, okay, we're going to do this forever. And now I love it. I mean, it's just a daily part of my daily routine and I enjoy it so much. So I hope that helps you and I hope you'll start healing right away. Give these foods a try. Just pick one. You don't have to do them all. Just pick one. See how you do and master one and then go on to the next. That's the best way to do it. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.